Hey everybody, welcome to the inaugural Game Hunters podcast. I am your charming and gaseous host, Gamer First Class.
And ever so humble, might I add.
And that is...
Go
You gotta
ahead,
say your
I'm
name.
waiting.
You gotta say your name, babe.
I was expecting some lovely adjectives.
You are, well, what else can I say about you? Lovely, illustrious. The fact that you are babe could kind of, tell that I think very highly of you, ma'am.
Or that you think very lowly of yourself.
Moving on. Well, welcome to the Game Hunters podcast, guys. I am Gamer First Class.
I think you already know how this is going to be.
Yes. This is the first ever podcast that we're doing for the channel. And today we're going to be discussing what happened a couple days ago. The Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, they dropped quite a few bombshells on us.
Oh yeah, right? Like, there's a lot of new information. Game announcements were kind of thin in terms of, like, Nintendo-specific things, but there wasn't, like, anything, like, too terrible, but nothing overly spectacular either, so it's kind of like...
Yeah,
take
not
it
as
how you
far as,
will.
like, Nintendo exclusives go, certainly.
Yeah. But, as it is, we're going to talk about whatever we find, or whatever they discussed, and just kind of go from there. And if you're wondering, what our thoughts about each game are, we might go into a tangent on a few of them, so be prepared for that. And my apologies.
Yeah, we probably will. If we wind up not for some reason, just ask us down in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. So, without further ado, the Nintendo Direct started off seemingly with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, I have an interesting relationship with the Xeno series because the original game that kind of kick-started it, was Xenogears on the PlayStation 1. And that game is fun. It's my favorite PlayStation RPG. Like, original PlayStation RPG. And
See, and I have no relationship with the Xenoblade series, so I'm just kind of sitting here going, okay, you talk.
Well, one of these days I will show you the game because it is actually really fun, and the series as a whole goes into like some really heavy topics, very specifically religion. And I know how interesting that is for a lot of people. Because, like, do you know anything about the Gundam animes? Like, even if you haven't watched them, do you know of their existence?
Yes, I know they exist.
Well, it's kind of similar to that. And there's one specific anime that Xenogears especially kind of reminded me of, and that was Evangelion. I know some people are very iffy on that particular anime. It's an acquired taste, yes, but it's very good. But since I'm the only one talking about this, we're going to move on to the next one, which was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. And what that means is a shit ton of DLC.
I mean, one of which being a remaster of the Mario Kart on Wii.
I don't think it's a Mario Kart on Wii. I think it's more... Well, because the original Mario Kart 8 was, I think, on the Wii? Or on the Wii U?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was, because the one on Switch is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which kind of came prepackaged with some extra DLC as it was.
I see.
Yep. And so they're adding some new tracks, some new racers, some of them from Mario Kart Double Dash, which, fun fact, is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. To be perfectly honest.
That's the one where you can, like, team up.
Yeah, I don't think I played that one. No, they're just remastering certain courses from
from previous
From
games.
Mario Kart Wii and all the other previous Mario Karts.
Well, yeah, and that's still pretty cool, though. I mean, it's cool that that game in particular still has life in it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I spent so many hours and ruined so many friendships playing Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart is just that kind of game.
Well, it didn't help that the first time I played it, it was my friends, and the first track she put me on was Rainbow Road.
What? What? Okay, hold on. Your friend chose violence as the first
Yes.
Mario Kart track you played. Oh, I can see the kind of friendship you two have.
I was saying, you've met her. Are you surprised?
I am not surprised, but oh, good God. I am not a fan of Rainbow Road on the best of days, but...
I mean, I love Rainbow Road now.
I mean... The one on Mario Kart 8 wasn't too bad because I could, like, kind of figure out the shortcuts. Like, if you jump off of here, you can get some damn good distance. But otherwise,
Yeah,
I'm
I
just...
I didn't play Mario Kart 8 because I don't have a Switch, and of course I didn't have a Wii U. No one had a Wii U.
I mean, I had a Wii U, so I count. How dare you?
No, you don't count.
I don't count? Why?
You don't count.
Why don't I count? Explain
'Cause I
that to
said
me,
so.
please. Because I said so. There were some damn
Yes.
good games on the Wii U. I'm sorry. I'm gonna defend the games on that system. I'm not gonna defend the system itself. I'm sorry to anyone who's a Wii U
Yeah,
fan.
I was gonna say, if you really want to die on the hill of the Wii U, then you go right ahead, but...
I'll defend the games. I will not defend the console itself.
Alright, that's fair.
Because there were some games in there that were amazing. But yeah, it originally was on the Wii U, and the Switch has the deluxe version, which is the superior version because it has a bunch of tracks, a bunch of new characters, and shit, they're fun. The game is just fun.
I mean, it's Mario Kart. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, and for me as well, my favorite, like I said, my favorite Mario Kart was Double Dash because you could pick two characters and have them team up, and certain team ups can use like very unique abilities or like can use power ups in a unique way. Like Mario and Luigi could use the turtle shells a little better and all that.
Okay, yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah. The one where you basically could team up with people on the same little cart.
Yeah, but
You
they
could-
weren't your friends.
No, but they weren't your
Yeah,
friends.
okay.
But yeah, it was. But you could just kind of you could use like double the items and stuff, and the tracks were really fun. Especially because you could store items with one of the characters, if I remember correctly. If not, you guys will probably blast me in the comments for it. So it's been forever since I played the game. All I know is there's 2 characters per car, and you could use very special abilities if you team up with certain people.
That's the one that was on the GameCube, right?
Yep, that was the GameCube one.
Yeah, that I had that one. I played that one.
Ah, and that one was so fun, wasn't it?
I love the cruise ship level.
I don't remember that level, but I will believe you because most tracks in Mario Kart are fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't think of any that are just like blah.
Yeah, true.
Like even the easier ones have like cows.
Well, whenever I get the chance to get Mario Kart 8 again, because I used to have it, but then I got rid of it because my ex-wife is such a lovely person.
Oh, I assumed you sold it.
No, but we're not going to get into their people. Sorry for another day. But, yeah. Moving right along, we have a game, Fire Emblem Warriors, 3 Hopes. And now, I saw trailers for this. It is Fire Emblem meets Dynasty Warriors.
I mean, it's basically hack and slash.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever played Dynasty Warriors, you'll know how to play freaking Fire Emblem Warriors. I mean, each spin-off game has its own like unique mechanics and stuff, but For the most part, it's hacking, it's slashing, it's killing a million enemies all at once. It's glorious. I don't care who you are. I don't care how repetitive you think it is. You're wrong.
I mean, if you think it's repetitive, then just mix up your moves.
Exactly. And you can get pretty stylish in those games, let me tell you. I mean, I'm playing...
I saw a live stream of one of them once.
There's so many.
I think it was the Zelda one, so Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors. That I still have not played. I want to. I just haven't.
And you are like the biggest like Zelda geek ever.
Well, at the time I didn't completely get the Warriors games at all until I got Persona 5 Strikers, and suddenly I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I get it. I get why it's popular.
Goodness me. Such a problem child.
Says the problem child herself.
Takes one to know one.
But yeah, if you're a Fire Emblem fan, I mean, the switch from grid-style strategy to hack-and-slash game might be a little off-putting, but hey, who knows? Could be a hidden gem in the series. A series that has apparently gone through many ups and downs. I'm not all that aware of Fire Emblem, other than, like I said, it's a strategy series.
Yeah, I know of it. I know of its existence. Strategy games aren't typically for me.
Yeah, I mean, Fire Emblem, from what I understand, it has its charm, but one thing that will make me quit the game forever, that I know it has in most of the games, is permadeath. You will get you will get attached to a character, and then they could die in battle, and then they're gone for the entire rest of the playthrough, and that'll make me sad inside. And no, I can't do that to myself. I can't. I really can't. It's just not who I am. It's not how I roll. Permadeath hurts. And if there's an option for it in most games, I turn it off, if possible. Because some of the later Fire Emblem games actually turned off the permadeath to make it more accessible for the newer players, but even still.
I mean, I think the only thing that really sucks about it is that all their XP and everything just goes straight down the drain.
Oh yeah, all the progress you put into them, all the story content you potentially missed out on.
And it's not even that, because you can replay it, but it's that, oh crap, how am I going to finish this now when all my other options to replace this person that just died are so underleveled?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, I like I said, I don't know how the series works, so maybe there's ways around it, but on the one hand, people will say, yeah, it makes you think about your next move and stuff, but to that I say, look, in a strategy game, my next move should just be, how do I not die this round? Not, which character should I let live?
See, as you know, and this is why strategy games don't work for me, is I don't like to think before I go into battle.
I don't mind thinking. Like, if that game requires me to do just a little bit of brain work, I'm fine with it. That's why I'm okay with like games like XCOM, for example. XCOM is fun.
Yeah, I never got into that either.
XCOM is fun if you're not playing on the insanely high difficulties. And there diehards out there will say that's the only way to play, and to them I say, fuck off. No.
I don't like to plan. I like to go in, stab things, probably die, but it'll be worth it because I got some glorious kills.
I mean, yes, exactly. I'm a fan of that too. I'm also a fan of a little strategy here and there. But, for the most part, if it's a game like a strategy game, no, that's just not... That I don't swing that way.
You should see me play Dishonored sometime. I go in, and I go in pretty quietly. That doesn't mean I don't kill people along the way, because, I mean, yeah, I do, but I go in quite quietly. On the way out, however, no, everyone knows I was there, and also no one knows I was there because I exploded them all.
She is that kind of stealth player, people, the one who's not actually a stealth player.
I'm not a stealth player at all. I don't have the patience, and I get bored. So I then throw whale oil at people.
And this is why I am the patient one in the relationship.
You can be patient all you want. I'm gonna have fun throwing their limbs across the map.
Hey, I have fun playing stealth games too. Metal Gear Solid taught me well.
But you don't get to throw limbs across the map.
Well, maybe not limbs, but you can throw porno magazines in the middle of a enemy camp and watch them fawn over it while you just walk around them with the gaudiest fucking camouflage you can find.
I mean, there is that one I'm not sure which one it is. Maybe it's Metal Gear Solid 3, where you can hide in a locker where there's a sexy girl on the inside, and if you stare at it for too long, you get a call, and they're just like, Snake, are you quite finished?
That might be Metal Gear Solid 1, actually.
Well, it's one of them.
I have some of the Metal Gear Solid games, so if you ever want to understand that insanity...
I mean, I don't think you can.
I mean, you can, but you can't at the same time. The game, the series is, you know, unusual as it is, so...
It's a Kojima headfuck.
I mean, most of his games are, so...
Oh, yeah. There's no such thing as a Kojima non-headfuck.
I mean, Death Stranding is his biggest headfuck, and even Okay, I only half understand that game, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah, I haven't played that one because... Oof.
Listen, yes, it's an acquired taste. Yes, it's also good. I will die on that hill. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. It may be a very good... I'm sure it is a very good game. It's just not really for me.
I mean, understand.
Once again, I get bored too quickly.
Oh, I know, and I will try to make it entertaining for you if I ever show it to you. There are ways.
If we ever, like, do stuff like this, you know, play it on the channel or something, then...
That would actually be a good game for a podcast, because there's not a whole lot that's happening, and people can just focus on, you know, what we're talking about, instead of what's happening on screen.
I mean, even so, I think people are going to be mostly focusing on what we're talking about. Because, like, Kingdom Hearts, ooh, fun colors, flashes of light.
Oh, yeah, there's flashes of light, you're just murdering everything in sight. It's glorious, yes, but it gets mindless if you're just doing that over and over again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the entire series is press X to not die.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, moving right along, because we went on a tangent there. I warned you. We warned you that this would happen.
We did warn you about the tangents.
Yeah, so if you're getting... annoyed about that, well, that's on you, because we warned you.
It's true.
And next game on the Nintendo Direct list was Mario Strikers Battle League. Now...
I don't pretend to understand any of it, to be fair.
I mean, it's Mario Soccer. There's not much to understand there.
I mean, that's true, but... Like, I don't really know why.
Why what? That Mario Soccer exists?
Yes.
Mario sports games just are, okay? They exist.
They just are.
Yeah, they exist. You have to accept that they exist, and once you do that, you can just kind of enjoy it from a distance.
You know, I accepted the Mario Sonic, Olympic game things.
Oh, Mario and Sonic at the Olympics?
Yeah, I thought it was weird, but I accepted it. And now I'm just looking at this going, are we really doing this?
They've turned that into an arcade game now. Like, just a regular arcade-style game. In arcades. And it's mostly just the mini-games over and over again.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much what the game was anyway.
I mean, yeah, but it's only the mini-games. There's no, like, potential, like, campaign mode? Or whatever they do with those things. I don't know.
I don't even remember if there was a campaign mode.
I don't know.
If there was, I didn't pay attention to any kind of story.
I never played, so I don't really know.
I played one of them way back in the day.
That might have been, like, many years ago, because I think the first one was 2014.
God, really?
Yeah, I think that was the first Mario and Mario and Sonic at the Olympics game. Like, legitimately.
Then that's not back in the day.
Sweetie, it is 2022. Oh, yes, it absolutely is.
I wasn't playing video games then. Wait a minute.
I was. Like, what are you talking about? They might...
Oh, you were. I wasn't.
I mean, they did have other ones. I think... I know they had other ones. That was just the first one. The 2014 one. If I remember correctly.
I don't know. Maybe I played it at a friend's house. That I believe.
Potentially. But, moving on. Mario Strikers is Mario Soccer. If you played it on the GameCube, great. If not, well, it'll highly depend on how much you enjoy soccer. I mean, I'll watch a game. I'm not gonna follow it, though. It's not like
the rules are very similar to that of hockey, so I can actually kind of follow, to a degree.
To a degree, but then again, you are the biggest hockey fangirl I have ever known, so...
Oh, you have not met many hockey fans.
I've not met many die-hard hockey fans, I will say that.
You need to go to Canada.
I have been to Canada, just not for a hockey game.
Well, then you need to speak to Canadians about hockey.
Oh, I will at some point. We will go to Canada one day.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've only been to, like, Toronto and Niagara Falls, that's about it.
Yeah, I've never been to Canada, and I should go.
Yeah, you absolutely should. It's a great place. It really is. All right, the next game on that list was the Chrono Cross Remaster.
I'm just gonna sit here in silence and just let you go. Because I know you are, like, champing at the bit to talk about it.
I mean, I'm not as well versed in Chrono Cross as I am in Chrono Trigger, because Chrono Trigger I played first, and Chrono Cross it's not a direct sequel. It's like a spiritual successor / sequel. Like, the events of Chrono Trigger impacted the events of Chrono Cross, but they're not, like, related beyond that. But the game itself is...
If they are redoing Chrono Cross, then, in theory, they'll be redoing Chrono Trigger.
I fucking hope so.
If it does well.
It might. Because there are some die-hard Chrono fans. Well, I'm not one of them. I'm not, like, die-hard. Like, I love the games. I'm just not, absolutely chomping at the bit over every piece of rumor and news. Just the fact that I saw it happen was like, oh, cool. And this one's... It's a remaster, so I'm just going to tell everyone right off the bat, if you are expecting a 3D remake in the vein of Final Fantasy VII, you're going to be very disappointed, because that is not what you're going to get.
Yeah, there's a big difference between remaster and remake.
Yeah, and if they did remake Chrono Cross, actually it would take a little less time, because the original game was 2 discs instead of 4 on the PlayStation 1.
Oof.
Well, I mean, but also it was made way after Final Fantasy VII, so there's still a bit more content.
Oh yeah, but still, oof.
Yeah, it's a long game, but it's a fun game. It's like a lot of PlayStation 1 JRPGs. It has a few different mechanics though. Like you can combine different attacks, Chrono Trigger style, where you have 2 characters with 2 different abilities that can combine, and if you use them both, you get like a super powerful attack. The game works on like a combo system, actually, very similar to Xenogears in that way. Like each attack, you can do like different tiers of attack strength, and you can combo them together. It's actually pretty cool.
See, that's the kind of shit I would never learn, and I would just like keep hitting attack.
And that's the shit I love, because it keeps me from thinking all turn-based games are the same, because they change up the mechanics so often that when they change mechanics in turn-based games to something different, I want to learn it, because then I'm not playing the same old turn-based game over and over again.
Well, I don't play turn-based games, so...
Once Persona happens, that'll change, I promise. Once I show you the ways of the Persona series.
I mean, I've seen some of the ways of the Persona series. I feel like I'm not going to be won over by...
Persona 5 may win you over.
Am I supposed to be won over by pedophilia?
Listen. That's a villain that happens to be a pedophile. And if you've played Persona 5, you know...
God, I hope so!
Yeah, listen, everyone. If you've ever played Persona 5, like, for real, you know who we're talking about, A, and B, you know that that's the only one in the game. So... I mean, there are some abusive assholes in Persona 5 who are villains, believe it or not, but they kind of started off a little too strong with the first one, in my opinion. Like
Yeah, because just... Ew.
Yeah. I mean, that's bad enough, but the fact that he's also a gigantic abusive asshole is just... yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't help.
It doesn't help at all, and it just makes you want to completely end him right then and there. And when we get to playing Persona 5 on either this channel or whatever channel we decide to do gameplay footage on, because we're going to try something different with this channel, starting with this podcast, we're just going to start doing, videos of what we want to do. Instead of just...
exactly. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to have gameplay, because we absolutely are. Obviously, there's gameplay during this podcast, but...
Exactly, and
we might do walkthroughs on here. I don't think that's a bad idea, personally, putting walkthroughs on here, too. It's just...
Yeah, putting walkthroughs, playthroughs, and you can even find me whenever we start getting an audience. You'll find me starting to stream pretty often. Because I love playing. I love doing the Let's Play thing. I love doing the playthrough thing. She wants to do a lot of other stuff, and that's fine too, because I want the same.
Yeah, like those of you that have known me from my other channel, I did playthroughs. I did walkthroughs for years, and I just kind of stopped, and I haven't missed it that much. I mean, I missed creating content, but I haven't missed the obligation to play certain games. Mm-hmm. So I think it's time for me to take, like, a step back from the playthroughs and everything, at least for a time, and try doing something different.
Exactly, and don't worry, we're gonna try and make things as, interesting as possible overall.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we have some ideas. We don't want to talk about them yet, but we will discuss them whenever we have the chance and whenever we release them. So don't worry, we're here.
Oh yeah, we're working on stuff.
Yes.
Things are percolating.
Exactly. Now the next game that the Nintendo Direct talked about was a game called Triangle Strategy. And if you've ever played Fire Emblem, the originals, or Final Fantasy Tactics, that's basically what the game is. Turn-based, grid-style strategy. If you're into that, cool. We're not going to talk too much about it because I love Final Fantasy Tactics. That was a good game. Very, very powerful story, actually. My God.
Well, I mean, it's Final Fantasy.
No, but like that one is like you're actually playing soldiers in the middle of a war between two, like, I want to say brothers, but I feel like I'm wrong. But they were like closely related or at some point or something. Mm-hmm. And it also, and in typical Final Fantasy style, it does talk a lot about religion. I mean, not to be that guy, even though I'm the religious one of the pair here, but that one actually does it justice. Like, that one's actually very respectful in terms of like how it deals with the subject matter. Other Final Fantasy games, they can be respectful, but sometimes they miss the mark. And I don't care if people talk about religion in different ways or discuss it. I just want there to be some respect, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You can agree, you can disagree. I don't care. Just be respectful. That's all I have to say.
The only thing I will say on that is that sometimes it is hard to be, I don't want to say hard to be respectful because it's not that hard, but there are sometimes things that you say that you don't think are disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody gets offended by it and you just kind of go, oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Can someone explain that to me?
Well, that's one of those case-by-case basis type of things, and there are people, as we all know, that get offended by everything. So, like I said, case-by-case basis.
Oh, of course.
And we're going to move on from that subject because we don't want our podcast to get completely shut down already.
I mean, we're going to talk about religion at some point.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We just don't want to come off on that start. Not yet, anyway.
I mean, it has nothing to do with Nintendo Direct, so there's no reason to, but
no.
Yeah.
But yeah, Triangle Strategy, I don't know too much about it, and I'm not the biggest fan of strategy games like that as it is, so, I mean, if it looks interesting, most games do. You just kind of have to be, in a mindset of, do I want to play this kind of game today?
Yeah.
And that moves us on to, the one I completely skipped over because it's that meaningless. It's Nintendo Switch Sports. It's Nintendo Sports on the Switch. I don't know what else to say. It's basically
the one that was on the Wii, but on the Switch.
Exactly. Except they don't have boxing, which, boo. That's an immediate point down for me, because I am a big boxing fan. I love playing Wii boxing. That was fun.
See, I didn't care for Wii boxing because I don't know. It was, I guess the computer AI was just too
Dumb.
Predictable.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the big problem with those games, but I still enjoyed it, like, a lot, so...
And yeah, I think you could play that one with friends, but I don't have any of those, so...
Well, you have me, and you have your best friend, who you're gonna coerce into playing games at some point.
I need to. She has a Switch.
Well, then, get on it.
She's already playing Animal Crossing, so that's something.
It's a start. I mean, I have Animal Crossing as well, so it's a cute little game. It's a game you play when you want to just, relax.
Oh yeah, it's so chill.
Yeah. And if you're used to like big high octane action games, yes, that's off-putting and might not be for you, but there's just something about it. I can't explain it. It's just so chill.
I mean, it's chill until you are right at the deadline of catching, like, a stringfish or something.
That is one thing, but the way I think of Animal Crossing, you have to play it in bursts. You cannot just straight shot the game, at least for me, because then it gets monotonous. I like to play maybe one day at a time for maybe like an hour. That's about it. And I still get a lot done. It's just... that's about all I can stand before I get bored.
I think it kind of depends. I think when it's shiny and new, you're way more likely to do more.
Yeah. But even still with Animal Crossing, it's one of those, once you find the pattern, it's gonna get repetitive.
I mean, any game is repetitive when you find the pattern.
Yeah, but Animal Crossing, since there's not a lot of variety, you're just basically finding things and growing things and building your house.
And then you get, like, purple roses or something, and you just become, like, the happiest person ever.
Exactly. Because you just find the coolest things. But
and
yeah.
There's also the stuff in the shops. Like, you can just create entire little, like, quaint villages or little areas that are all themed. Just because of all the shit you can find in the shop. It's cool.
Exactly. It's really cool. And like I said, if it's not for you, it's not for you, but we enjoy it because of how chill it is and of all the cute little things. It's the little things in that game that make it.
Oh, absolutely.
And that brings us to Splatoon 3, the franchise that took the fuck off for Nintendo.
I think it's just, I mean, I don't remember if they were in the first one or not, but it's those two commentators, in the second one at least, that are just so freaking sassy.
I mean, it could have been in 2. I've never played Splatoon, so I wouldn't know. But
I haven't played Splatoon either, but I have, you know, I watch a lot of other people's streams. And not just streams, there are other videos as well, so I come across a lot of this stuff.
And I mean, I've always wanted to play Splatoon because you're a kid who's also a squid, A, and B, you get to color things and paint things and travel through the paint. It's so fun!
I mean, who among us hasn't wanted to be a squid? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, one minute you're a kid now, and then you're a squid now. Then you're a kid.
I mean, I have no interest in being a kid. I was a kid. It sucked. I would very much like to be a squid.
Well, whenever I find the opportunity to get at least the other Splatoon games. I don't know if Splatoon 1 is on the Switch. I know 2 is.
Oh no, I mean in real life. I want to be a squid, and then I won't have to go to work.
What? Well, you might go to your job, but for different reasons.
I mean, if I'm a squid, I mean, yeah, I might wind up there, but I shouldn't.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Those of you that don't know, I work in an animal shelter.
Yep, and it's her dream job because she gets to work with animals.
It is. I mean, I hate it, but I love it.
She hates it because she has to deal with people. She loves it because she gets to deal with animals.
I would say, if I could just deal with the animals, I would be fine. It's the people.
Well, you never know. You might end up being in a position where you don't have to deal with people all that much, apart from your coworkers.
Yeah, but they suck too.
Well, you don't have to be around them constantly.
Just 6 days a week.
Well, animals, babe. Animals. Just think of the animals. That's your happy place. Find your happy place.
I don't have a happy place.
Well, find it. That's why I said find your happy place. But, yeah, Splatoon 3 is happening. I don't know much about the Splatoon series other than the basic gameplay, and it looks so much fun. Because it's Splatoon. If you love Splatoon, you love it. And I've always wanted to try it, so I definitely want to give it a go.
I mean, even if you don't love Splatoon, you also kind of love Splatoon. Just because of how weird and incredibly bizarre it is.
It's weird and colorful and awesome and kooky. Just what I look for in Nintendo games.
Yeah, I mean, unless you got older and were just like, ew, no, this looks like child's games.
If you're
then,
still thinking
yeah.
Nintendo is children's games, I don't know what to tell you.
I meant more along the lines of Splatoon.
I mean,
just because it is so colorful and kid friendly.
Well, if they think it's too kiddie and too not cool because it's a kid's game, they're wrong. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. No, you're just wrong.
I was gonna, and even with kids' games, there's absolutely no reason why you can't enjoy them as an adult.
Exactly. I mean, some are just insipid, but others are fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, some things are absolutely horrible to watch as an adult.
Yep.
But for the things that aren't and the things that you enjoy, just go for it.
Exactly.
Life is short and it sucks, so find the joy in those things.
Exactly. Now moving on to the slightly more adult side of Nintendo, Metroid Dread is getting an update. They're adding both an easy mode for newcomers to the Metroid series that for one reason or another, would find the game a little too difficult at first, because it's not so much the combat that's an issue. It's traveling across the terrain. And because of the...
I remember when you were playing it, you were kind of, like, describing a few things to me, and I'm like, it sounds like...
I was lost a few times, I'll admit it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the point of the game. It's that you're on this planet, and you're looking to get more ways of traveling through said planet so that you can reach your objective. And that's the kind of the point of the game. The game, yes, people think badly of backtracking, but the fact is, once you gain the abilities and start going into the newer areas, it feels so fresh. Like, it gets that fresh feeling every time you get a new ability, because then you're like, oh, wait, I remember this one place. I think I can use this ability now, and I can go there, and oh my god, I'm in a new area. Awesome. And oh my god, I can beat these enemies now. Awesome.
Do they open up, like, shortcuts, too, or do you really have to go through, like, all of it?
Oh no, there are shortcuts galore.
Okay.
Metroid... You know the Metroidvania style?
Yeah.
That's the game that invented it, practically.
There you go.
Yeah, Metroid... Like, basically, Metroid invented it. Castlevania Symphony of the Night kind of refined it a little bit.
I remember when you were, like, describing it to me, it sounded to me a bit like Hollow Knight.
Yeah, and Hollow Knight is absolutely a Metroidvania style game. Those games in particular are what inspired those specific types of games to come out and be popular. And they're fun. You just kind of have to get into that mindset of, oh, I have to find upgrades. Once I find upgrades, then I can have just that little bit extra more fun. Because it's fun initially, and there are some speedrunners who do some insane things in those games. But the Metroid Dread is getting 2 new updates. There's an easy mode, and then there's a one-hit kill, merciless mode kind of deal.
Love it.
And I'm like, cool. You do you. I suffer enough with some aspects of the Metroid series. I don't want that for myself.
You don't hate yourself enough for that.
No. But that also moves us on to a very carefree, easygoing, but also amazingly fun series, Kirby. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
I mean, honestly, it's a game, and honestly, it doesn't surprise me, because in the latest Mario, you were able to take over a piece of meat that could twitch, rather disturbingly. You could take over a T-Rex.
Listen, let's not get into how fucking terrifying that power is in that game, in Mario Odyssey, of you just being able to hijack people against their will and control them for your own nefarious purposes, and either get dumped back out, not remembering what the fuck happened, or plummeting to your fucking doom.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of looking at it going, do they remember?
No, they don't, because they all look like they're questioning everything. Because when you pop out, they look dizzy as shit, like they're just disoriented, as though they've just exercised without realizing they just exercised.
Okay, so they wouldn't.
They don't remember anything, so you can be like
they don't know what they've done. They won't remember all the brethren that they've killed.
Exactly, all the brethren they might have killed, all the...
Great, so then a Goomba is just gonna wake up in hot lava and just go, fuck, what?
And then dead. Like I said, if you overthink it, that game is fucked up.
My life is overthinking, so you know I'm gonna.
Well, now I've just given you another thing to overthink. You're welcome.
As if I needed your help on that.
Well, now you have another reason to. You know? And, this new Kirby game is kind of similar. Only instead of taking over their bodies, you eat the person and steal their abilities.
Because Kirby.
Because Kirby is an Eldritch Abomination, who is also a child. Therefore, he is not as powerful as he could be yet, which is terrifying on its own.
I mean, honestly, Kirby is...
An
he might
Eldritch
as well be a Pokemon, just more badass. Like, he's a Pokemon that's gone rogue.
He is a badass Ditto. I almost said another thing.
Excuse me?
I mean, when you think about it, though, both Ditto and Kirby can be anything you want them to be. Let that haunt your nightmares, people.
Moving on.
No, we went down this rabbit hole. You knew we were gonna get there at some point.
Okay, no, I will honestly tell you, I did not have Dildo Kirby on my 2022 bingo card.
Oh no, I don't know what I started, but I have no regrets. I'm just not sure what I started here. But
Oh god, if we make it famous, that's gonna be on t-shirts.
Dildo Kirby. Moving on about the new Kirby game. Apparently, I saw a video. I saw the trailer for it, and Kirby actually has new abilities in this game. I mean, the first thing is he can now not completely eat giant objects, but he can take them over. Like, he can take over a car and use it. He can take over a vending machine and shoot cans of Mountain Dew at people. Not specifically Mountain Dew, but you know what I mean.
I mean, he can throw Mountain Dew at me anytime. I'll drink it.
Ha. No, but he's attacking you. He's not feeding you. He's not quenching your thirst with it. He is there with the sole purpose of shedding your blood.
I mean, depending upon what shape he takes, maybe he is there for that.
He just puts the vending machine into his body. He cannot absorb said vending machine, so he just becomes the vending machine. He is one with the soda gods.
I've always wanted to be a soda god.
Well, now you can fulfill that dream, babe. With Kirby.
I just want to be a god. Just be like, no, I don't like you, Smite.
My fiance, ladies and gentlemen.
This is why I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, no. She will absolutely break the first rule. The Hippocratic Oath is a suggestion to her.
That's not fair. I wouldn't necessarily do harm. I might just not prevent harm.
That is doing harm by proxy. Harm by negligence.
It is by proxy. It does not
harm
say
by negligence,
do
my
no
dear.
Harm by proxy. It says do no harm.
There is a reason.
I take that as direct.
Babe, there is a reason animal neglect is a felony.
I wouldn't do it against animals. I'm not a monster.
But against humans, though?
Have you spoken to old people?
Yes, not all of them are terrible.
Oh no, not all of them. Just the ones that call me at work.
Well, that's a whole different circumstance that's not the purpose of this video, but moving right along. But yeah, Kirby can take over the big objects also. And apparently his new moves, the moves that he can absorb, he can evolve them. He can make them more powerful.
Badass.
And that's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. So yeah, they're actually trying to do completely new things with this Kirby game, which I'm all for.
I think right when the world is about to end, Kirby is just gonna come riding in on his star and just fix everything and just be like, haha, suckers.
He's gonna become the black hole.
He'll just swallow the black hole.
His stomach is an entire separate universe.
And then he'll just spit it out somewhere else.
Well, like I said, his whole stomach is an entire universe, and it's by itself.
He spits and swallows and can take it all. You introduced it.
And I thought we had stopped it, but clearly there's...
You know better than that.
I should. I really should have known better than that. Moving on. If you are Earthbound fans, I have some good news and some not so good news. The first two Earthbound games, although one was not called Earthbound, it was called Mother, because of the themes of the game. It was released on the NES. I don't remember if it was completely released in North America, but it was released, like... I think it was released later. I don't know. There's some weirdness regarding the Earthbound series. So Mother 1 and Mother 2, which was called... Mother 2 was called Earthbound. But no Mother 3. Because that game just keeps getting the shaft. That's a game that North American audiences have been clamoring for, but have never gotten. Why? I don't know.
There's gotta be some kind of deal in place.
I don't know what the company's deal is when it comes to porting their game. I really don't...
There's something weird in that contract, I guarantee it.
Oh, I absolutely think so too. It's just, I don't know why.
Because they can?
But they shouldn't. They should give the fans what they want. Then they'll make money. Do they not like making money? That's what I tell Nintendo sometimes. Do you guys not like making money sometimes?
I mean, yeah, imagine the killing Zelda would make on other consoles too. I mean...
put it on PlayStation and people will fucking flock.
I would buy it.
But yeah, Earthbound, that is an old RPG from the Super Nintendo. And I played some of it. It is very unique. It is a very unique series. I will say that. Because it's a game semi-based on reality, where you're playing you're basically, your protagonist is literally a child with all his friends. And you come across all these weird things, and it's just cute. It's cute in a way, it's gross in a way, because only the 90s can have that combination work somehow. I mean, and you know what I'm talking about, babe. You've seen 90s cartoons.
I was alive in the 90s. I played games in the 90s, so yeah.
And you have also seen cartoons in the 90s. There is
Some cartoons in the 90s will never leave my brain.
Yeah, some good, some... Why?
Honestly, it'll be mostly the commercials that'll haunt me until the day I die.
Oh, absolutely. And every couple of episodes of Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy were pretty terrifying.
Yeah. It's like if you gave kids literal meth and told them to write a show. That is what Ren and Stimpy is.
I am quite sure that would be listed as child abuse.
Yeah, but that's basically what the game is sometimes. Or not the game, the show.
I'm saying, what game?
They've never made a Ren and Stimpy game to my knowledge. If they have,
thank God.
If they have, please never show that game to me again. I don't need that scarring.
Don't let me know.
I don't need that scarring. Thank you.
I played the Animaniacs game. I've suffered enough.
There was a game?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
How did I not know this?
The Animaniacs game on the GameCube. It was pretty terrible.
Well, I mean, of course, it was licensed games before licensed games became good. But yeah, Earthbound, it's happening. They're re-releasing it. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to the re-release of Portal 1 and 2 on the Switch. Because they did not do it for the PS4 or Xbox One.
Yeah, and they really should have.
I mean, unless you use the backwards compatibility, the Xbox 360 backwards compatibility, which I know some people did, but it would have been nice to get like a HD version.
Oh, sure. But I must say, I do love that they called it the Companion Collection.
I know, right? Because of the companion cube that we will not speak of.
Oh, right. You killed him.
I maintain GLaDOS as one of the absolute greatest video game villains ever created.
I love GLaDOS in a way I shouldn't, considering she's a villain. But she is the greatest thing ever, pretty much.
She's one of my top, 10 favorite video game villains.
I mean, I really need to work on making my inner monologue just GLaDOS.
GLaDOS' speech.
Yeah.
Well, you found me. Was it worth it?
It's like, oh, how are you? Because I'm a potato.
Oh my god. I need to play those games again, and now I have an excuse because, yay, on the Switch now.
You can carry around GLaDOS as a potato and have her sass you.
Yep. And I think we're closing in on the first half of this podcast, so we'll come back and do the second halves here soon. So what you're gonna hear is a little kind of pause, and then we'll get right back to the topics. Give you some more of this unbelievable something podcast. And yeah, we'll be right back.